Let me tell y'all about it. The Pot and Politics Podcast presents the return of Jeastown. That means I'm on my solo mission flying. But, I always got the real shit to bring to y'all. I feel like partying a little bit, though, first. So let's party a little bit. Ride the beat. I got a great guest tonight, too. A great guest.
This is for my folkers who got bills. This is for my folkers check 1, 2. This is for my folkers never live.
And she is definitely down for the underdog.
So I got love for the underdog.
So, like I said, it's the return of Jeastown. Sean G's, a.k.a. I Smoke Weed. I'm in the building. And I have the pleasure of being accompanied by Makayla Venable, who is running for the House of Delegates, District 36. So, how are you, Makayla?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. This is fun.
Good. We've been trying to get things back together for a while, since I broke the leg and everything. So, it took a while to get back up. But, hey, we here now. So, I figured we jump right into it a little bit. I think the biggest question that I have. Well, first off, how can I put it? Yeah, let me just ask the question. The biggest one that I had. Is why are you running yourself, and what is your main agenda to do once you get to Richmond?
That's a good question. So the reason I'm running is, I've been very involved in my community since I was young. I started out in the youth NAACP, and we did a lot of protest rallies, and we got to be involved in our communities in many different ways, and we got to go to convention in New York City, and we got to see so many amazing leaders. I got to see Miss Dorothy Heights before she passed away. They had some of the Little Rock Nine and Ruby Bridges, and it just really opened my eyes to a lot. And I got to shake hands with so many people who broke many barriers for me. And then when I was in school, we had the MAP and program, and then we had Summit, and I made a joke to one of my teachers. She was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "The first female president." And I just laughed, and she looked at me and she said, "Well, that's possible."
Right.
And I said, "Really?" And she showed me people like Shirley Chisholm and Fannie Lou Hamer and so many amazing Black women who have done so many great things. And I was like, oh, because you don't learn about that in school.
Right. Yeah, we went to the same high school.
Yeah.
We're from the same city. Everything that I know about, our culture, it started off with a friend of mine gifted me a book. It was called One More River to Cross. But it was, 12 stories about, Black people who did shit.
Yeah.
Good stuff other than was a slave or, the bull crap that they wanted to teach us in school.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. And you have definitely stepped up as a leader. Now, I don't know everything to be factual, but I see a lot. And as far as the Democratic Party, I know that's what you represent and everything, but in the eyes of me, I don't really think they did you how they were supposed to do you. Like, you just wasn't mentioned enough. Like, I probably got, I don't know, maybe 50 calls in the past 2 months from the Democratic Party, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not one of them mentioned your name. So after about the third one, I started mentioning your name. Like, I'm voting for Makayla Venable, for District 36. Not sure about everybody else. And surprisingly, that's what I would get. The silence. So I don't. How do you feel yourself? Because I know you pretty much ran your campaign off your own back, and that I'm gonna clap it up for that just right there, because that's a hard feat to do, and I've saw you. I know you damn tired. You got to be tired, but yeah, tell me how you feel about all of that.
With that, there is a lot that goes into that, and they tend to focus a lot on races that they feel like they can win. They're focusing on races where last time the person lost by a couple 100 votes or whatever. And, you know, it does get frustrating because I'm like, okay, if you would just throw like, we don't, this is like rural Virginia. We don't need $100,000. I mean, I raised 40
Right,
and we've been
right.
able to do so much. And so it's like, just throw us a little bit of money. But then I have to remember, you know, that even though I am running as a Democrat, that's where my views align. I'm doing it for the people. And
Mm-hmm.
I will always pick the people over the party.
People over party,
I'm
right?
very big on just making sure that my community gets the help that it needs. And that's when I'm talking to somebody who's a Republican or an independent or a Democrat. I'm like, Richard doesn't pay attention to us no matter what party we are.
Right.
Because the party that has been representing us doesn't represent us well.
True. That's true. And speaking of which, when is the last time we even had a Democrat in this position? Like, how long has that been for this district? Even
And as a delegate, I want to say I mean, I don't quote me, but I feel like we haven't.
I can't remember.
I can't
remember a time. And like I said, I've never really paid attention to that position until you was in it, because you know, I mean, you know, I'm a fan. But even still, like, to mention, I can't ever remember that. So I know that would be really, really big business when you do win that.
Yeah, and you know, I've been talking with a lot of people, like Congresswoman Jennifer McKellen's one of my favorite people. And I have to give a shout out to a lot of the black delegates, like Delegate Deborah Gardner. She invited me to an event um, with a lot of delegates and with a lot of important people. And it was called like Each One Reach One. And she brought me there as a young black woman to be surrounded by so many powerful people who have done things. And we got to talking, and Rep. McKellen told me so many people wait until they run for office to get involved in their community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people don't trust politicians. And we talked, and she said, but you seem like you've been involved. People trust you, and that is what it takes, you
Right.
know, to flip a district, is to that people know who you are, and people know that not only do you talk the talk, but you walk the walk. You mean what you say, and this isn't for some power trip or for some type of gain. You really care about people,
Right.
and you care about your community, and you want to see your community do well. So
Right. And see, and that's where, like, I've been from day one with it. Like I said, I've been openly about, you know, where I stand on the governor's race, you know, and still ain't 100% sure, you know, where I'm going with it yet. But I've been clear about you from day one, because, like I said, I know your character. You know, you've always been sharp. You know, you've always been very, very sharp, and you're clearly showing it now. I mean, regardless on what happens, you running a hell of a race, and I know that this is just the beginning for the things that you are going to do. So yeah, basically what I want to do is let me see. Okay, well, let me take a little break, and we're gonna come back in a minute. All right, we're back. And like I said, this is just gonna be a short show. Like I said, a return of me talking my own shit, and I'm gonna try to give y'all a lot more of those. But I'm gonna give Makayla the floor. You know, just one last shout out here for her to tell y'all. You know, Makayla, anything that no one knows about you that they definitely need to know about you. I want you to go ahead and just whatever you want to say.
okay.
Floor is yours.
Yeah, so you know, I think that you know, I just went and toured with the Valley Children's Advocacy Center, and I've been touring with a lot of nonprofits and meeting with everybody in the community, and sometimes they tell me I'm the first person that's running for office. They even stop by to see them. And I'm just like, well, that's crazy, because my view as an elected official or as someone who's working in the government, you have got to be involved in your community. You've got to be where the people are, meet people where they are, and talk with people so you know what they need. And when I go into meetings, I'm always very candid. I'm like, hey, you know, I don't own a small business.
Right.
What do you need from me as your state official to help you do better and be better? And a lot of people have appreciated that approach.
Oh, truly, yeah, absolutely.
And I always say I never want to be the smartest or the smartest person in the room. I'm always learning. I'm learning from other people because I don't know everything. And if there's something that I don't know, I'll say, hey, well, I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that. Can you help teach me? And I think that shows, my humility and all this stuff. And people trust me and people love that I say, when I get to Richmond and when I win, I will try my best, but we don't know until November. We don't know who's going to be the governor. We don't know who's going to be the lieutenant governor. We don't know the stakes until after election day. So when I'm out on the doors, a lot of people are like, well, these people promised this. I'm like, listen, what I'll let you know is I will try my best.
Right.
I can't guarantee anything because, like I said, we don't know until after November who's going to be in charge. And then I've always gone to school board meetings and board of supervisor meetings, and I go and I listen, and sometimes I'm just like, they're like, well, we didn't know these were issues. I'm like, I graduated from Stanton High, which was Robert E. Lee when I graduated in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
It was an issue then. How do you guys not know that it's an issue now? So I'm very big on whoever's representing you needs to be in these conversations, needs to be in these spaces so that they know the issues. And that's been one of my big problems. People don't trust the government and people don't trust politicians, and I understand why.
Right. Yeah, clearly, you're truthfully about that. Yes, ma'am.
And I always tell people, I understand. I said, but let us talk, because I've talked to, when I go door knocking, I've talked to people who are strong Republicans, and they'll say, well, maybe we don't agree on, LGBTQ rights or, abortion, but the core issues, people want their kids to have good educations.
Mm-hmm.
People want to be able to afford to live where they live.
Right.
And a lot of people on both parties care about mental health and addiction, and they understand that people shouldn't be going to jail for problems that jail's not going to fix. Jail just causes more problems. And when we focus on that and when we talk, I really just want to remind people that we have a lot more in common than we do differently. And I also want people to understand that I understand that times are hard. Every day it's something. We don't know where things are going. But there are so many people in this community, so many nonprofits, so many people that truly care about their neighbors and want to see people doing good. No matter what party you're affiliated with, there's so many great people here in District 36 or the community that really want to help and really want to go forward. So.
Right on. I can definitely appreciate that. And we appreciate you coming on, Makayla. We're going to get this uploaded ASAP. And, we wish you all of the best. And I'll be at the party tomorrow.
Thank you for having me. I'm feeling great because I've had so many people reach out to me and say that they've never voted in a state or local election. But I always tell them, state and local impacts you way more than a federal one.
Than a federal, right. And it took me a long time to realize that when I was younger.
And then when I talk with some people about issues, someone today told me that they wanted to vote for me, but I didn't say anything about the border or border control. And I'm like, this is Virginia.
Right.
But I get it. I think a lot of people have federal and state mixed up, or they think that the state can do things that federal, we can't.
They just think where you stand at on those issues is how you would treat. Yeah, but I get it though. Yeah. Well, that's all I got, and we'll be back soon. But y'all, ain't Makayla brilliant? When y'all go out there tomorrow to vote, make sure y'all vote for Makayla Venable. I don't give a damn who else y'all vote for, but vote for her for real. She's gonna make a difference around here. And I'm gonna tell y'all about it. Peace.